As we gather this day to be thankful for what we have, for the family we love, the friends we cherish, and for the blessings, I just want to briefly explain to you how Thanksgiving Day came about.
The family stuff that matters.
Hi, my name is Abby and welcome to The O'Hares. Thanksgiving Day is a national holiday in the United States celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. It is regarded as being the beginning of the fall-winter holiday season along with Christmas and New Year in American culture. In 1621, the Plymouth colonists and Wampanoag Native Americans shared an autumn harvest feast. For more than 2 centuries, days of Thanksgiving were celebrated by individual colonies and states. It wasn't until 1863, in the midst of the Civil War, that President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed a National Thanksgiving Day to be held each November. So let's talk about the first Thanksgiving Day so we know where our Thanksgiving traditions came from. The most prominent historic Thanksgiving event in American popular culture is the 1621 celebration at the Plymouth Plantation. A small ship called the Mayflower left Plymouth, England in September 1620, carrying 102 passengers, an assortment of religious separatists or pilgrims, as they are now commonly known, seeking a new home where they could freely practice their faith. Some of them are lured by the promise of prosperity and land ownership in the New World. After a treacherous and rough crossing that lasted 66 days, the Mayflower dropped anchor near the tip of Cape Cod, far north of their planned destination at the mouth of the Hudson River. 1 month later, they crossed Massachusetts Bay and they began the work of starting a village at Plymouth. Throughout the first vicious winter, most of the colonists stayed on board the ship, where they suffered from exposure and outbreaks of contagious disease. Only half of the ship's original travelers and crew lived to see the first New England spring. The remaining settlers moved ashore in March, where they received an astonishing visit from an Abenaki Native American who greeted them in English. A number of days later, he came back with another Native American named Squanto. Squanto taught the pilgrims, who were debilitated by malnutrition and sickness, how to cultivate corn, catch fish in the rivers, extract sap from maple trees, and avoid poisonous plants. He also facilitated the settlers to forge an alliance with the Wampanoag, a local tribe which was sustained for more than 50 years and unfortunately remains one of the single examples of harmony between European colonists and Native Americans. After the Pilgrims' first corn harvest proved successful in November 1621, Governor William Bradford prearranged a celebratory banquet and invited a group of fledgling colony's Native American allies, including the Wampanoag chief. The festival lasted for 3 days and is now remembered as America's first Thanksgiving, although the Pilgrims themselves may not have used the term at that time. So what are the foods that they feasted on the first Thanksgiving Day? While no record exists of the first Thanksgiving's exact menu, much of what we know about what happened at the first Thanksgiving comes from the personal accounts of a Pilgrim chronicler, Edward Winslow, who wrote,
"Our harvest being gotten in, our governor sent 4 men on fowling, that so we might after a special manner rejoice together, after we had gathered the fruits of our labors. They 4 in one day killed as much fowl, as with a little help beside, served the company almost a week, at which time, amongst other recreations, we exercised our arms. Many of the Indians coming amongst us, and amongst the rest their greatest king Massasoit, with some 90 men, whom for 3 days were entertained and feasted. And they went out and killed 5 deer, which they brought to the plantation and bestowed on our governor, and upon the captain and others. And although it be not always so plentiful as it was at this time with us, yet be the goodness of God. We are so far from want that we often wish you partakers of our plenty.
Historians have proposed that many of the dishes were prospectively prepared utilizing traditional Native American spices and cooking methods. The meal did not feature pies, cakes, or other desserts, which have become a hallmark of contemporary celebrations because the Pilgrims had no oven and the Mayflower's sugar supply had diminished by the fall of 1621. So what are you thankful for this year? Please comment down below with how and what your family traditionally prepare for this festive season. If you find this video valuable, please hit that like button and share this with your friends. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and following our Facebook page, The O'Hares, to get the updates on our new uploads. Here's to the enjoyable company of good friends and family. May this day be a beautiful reminder of the wonderful things in life. The O'Hares wish you a happy Thanksgiving Day.
The family stuff, the matters.